Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. From the absolute second we wake up to the minute we hit the pillow, our communities are just buzzing. People are putting in energy, effort, sweat. Today, we're going to unpack the real value behind all that daily work. Why do people do what they do? And how does it all weave together to actually make our world function? Okay, let's dive into this. There's this fantastic thought from Swami Vivekananda that really captures this whole idea perfectly. He said, "When you are doing any work, do not think of anything beyond. Do it as worship, as the highest worship, and devote your whole life to it for the time being." I mean, wow. It's a powerful reminder of the inherent dignity in literally all types of work. Whether you're making a fortune or doing it completely for free out of pure love, every single effort counts. So here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at activities all around us. Second, defining economic activities. Third, understanding non-economic activities. Fourth, classifying our daily work. And finally, ways we get paid. All right, starting off with Section 1, activities all around us. Take a quick mental walk through your own neighborhood right now. You're probably going to see a massive contrast right off the bat. On one hand, you might have someone like Geeta Auntie just stepping out of a taxi in her uniform, right? She's coming back from her highly skilled job as a pilot in the Indian Air Force. But then, on the exact same street, maybe there's a retired grandfather spending his afternoon voluntarily teaching geography to the local kids. Two totally different activities, both requiring a ton of focus and dedication, happening side by side in the exact same community. Meanwhile, just down the road, Anu's parents are locked into a completely different routine. They spend their entire day running a ready-made garments and school uniform shop. Her dad heads out super early in the morning to open up the place, and her mom joins him right after getting the kids off to school. They're in it together, managing a business, talking to customers, organizing inventory, the whole shebang. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, defining economic activities. Seeing all those varied tasks naturally leads us to our first major bucket of work, which is economic activities. Basically, these are activities that involve money, or are performed in exchange for money, or money's worth. Think about Anu's parents running that clothing shop, or a truck driver hauling goods across the country, or factory workers assembling cars. Whenever a task is fundamentally driven by the goal of generating an income, it lands squarely in this economic category. But here's the thing, economic activities aren't just about someone literally handing you a briefcase of cash. That term, money's worth, is absolutely key here. It refers to the monetary value a person places on an object based on the benefit they get from it. So, a farmer selling produce at the local market, they're exchanging goods that have a clear, measurable financial value in the wider economy. And within this world of economic activities, we actually have specific terms for how money changes hands. Take a fee, for instance. A fee is a payment made in exchange for professional advice or services. So if you go to a doctor for a checkup, or a lawyer is arguing a case for you in court, they aren't selling you a physical object like a school uniform, right? They're providing specialized expertise. And the payment they earn for that specific professional service, that is a fee. Moving right along to Section 3, understanding non-economic activities. So what about Grandpa teaching those neighborhood kids for free? Well, that brings us to non-economic activities. Unlike the last category, these do not generate income or wealth. Instead, they are motivated entirely by feelings. We're talking gratitude, love, care, and respect. When your parents cook dinner for the family, or when a teenager takes care of their aging grandparents, or neighbors chip in to help fix up someone's house, no one is sending out invoices for that, right? The currency here is community and compassion. So, the crucial point is the motivation. On one side, economic activities are completely defined by generating income and dealing with money. On the flip side, non-economic activities are driven by emotional and social factors, love, care, and respect, with absolutely zero expectation of financial return. They both take a ton of time and energy, but the end goal's completely different. You can literally see this play out everywhere. Imagine a technician highly focused on assembling a vehicle on a loud, busy factory floor. They are engaged in a crystal clear economic activity, generating a paycheck. But Grandpa, quietly tending to his vegetable garden in the backyard, he isn't invoicing his family for those carrots. He's nurturing that garden out of passion and care for his household. It's a beautifully non-economic activity that adds incredible value to his life. It's just not monetary value. Now for Section 4, classifying our daily work. Let's put these definitions to the test. Remember Geeta Auntie? She receives a salary for serving her country as a pilot. So clearly an economic activity. But now consider Rohan, a character from our source material. He works as a software engineer, which, again, is economic. But on the weekends, he actually volunteers to teach computer skills at a local college. Because that weekend teaching is totally voluntary and unpaid, it gets classified as non-economic. It just goes to show how one single person can seamlessly jump between both worlds on any given day. Or take Anu's mother, who volunteers to teach knitting to a group of local women. Because she's volunteering her time to share a skill without charging a single rupee as a fee, she's really weaving the fabric of her community together. It's a textbook example of a non-economic activity. It builds community skills, it bonds people together, and it really highlights how unpaid work is just incredibly vital to society. Finally, Section 5, Ways We Get Paid. Pivoting back to the economic side for a second, when people do work for money, how does that money actually reach them? Well, picture a bustling highway construction site. Kavya's uncle operates a massive bulldozer there. Now, a huge infrastructure project like this involves hundreds of people performing economic activities. But, and this is important, they aren't all compensated in the exact same way. First up, we have a salary. Kavya's uncle receives a fixed, regular payment which is generally paid out monthly by an employer to an employee. This means he has a totally predictable income. He knows exactly what he's going to earn at the end of the month in exchange for providing his specialized machinery skills. However, other workers at that exact same construction site might be earning a wage instead. A wage is a payment made for a specific period of time. So we're often talking hourly, daily, or weekly. Unlike a fixed monthly salary, a wage can fluctuate depending on exactly how many hours or days the person was actively sweating it out on the job site. Both are totally valid forms of economic compensation, they're just structured a bit differently. And then we have payment in kind. This is a non-cash payment received for work performed. Imagine you spend the day helping harvest a farmer's field, and at the end of the day you get paid in, well, literal potatoes instead of cash. It is still a highly economic activity because it involves exchanging measurable value. It just bypasses your wallet entirely. Well, we have definitely covered a lot of ground today, exploring the deep, deep value of the work happening all around us every single day. We've seen how economic activities drive our markets and build our infrastructure, and how non-economic activities build love, care, and strong communities. So I want to leave you with this thought to ponder today. What are some non-economic activities that are important to your own family? And why are they truly valuable to you? Take a moment to really recognize the unpaid, loving work that makes your own life better. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep observing the amazing world of work around you.